In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck. Did you see I got that right? With no script, guys.
I know. Nice.
I'm so excited.
She's getting better at it.
I know. So, how was your Mother's Day?
Not bad.
Not bad?
I have a rule.
Okay, what's
I think
the rule?
I texted you about this.
I think so.
Just, I treat it like it's any other Sunday.
Yes.
Keep my expectations low.
Or not at all.
It's a Sunday with benefits.
Yeah. Oh, Sunday with benefits.
Brunch with benefits kind of a thing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I got some cute new kicks out of it. They got, you know, the kids are nice and friendly and they wanted to give hugs and stuff. So
There you go.
I just keep my expectations super low.
Yeah. Mine was the best Mother's Day I have had ever. And
You deserve it. I was like, look at you.
I was so like, you don't understand, like, and I feel kind of bad saying that, but it
just stood out.
It stood out, and here's the reason why. So we had the Denver show Saturday night, right? And I met up with a couple of people. Oh, you know the modern Desi chick that I get all of my like Indian centric clothes, like that Desi girl sweatshirt, like t-shirts.
Yeah.
So she's in Denver, Colorado, and she came to my first like a show during the first tour, but I was like back-to-back shows. So I was like, I can't go out, girl. I'm so exhausted. Ravina read me right, and she was like,
oh, wait, I'm not trying to put in like a shameless plug, but do you have like a code for them?
I
want to order.
Yeah. I don't
want to get some stuff.
But I'll send people to her way.
Okay,
because,
yeah.
Because Anil is so, like, she's like us.
Yeah.
But just like 36.
Okay.
So she's like
So
you.
she's me.
Yeah, she's you. But she's very like, from the way we were talking, and so back up. So I was like, I reached out, and every time I go back to cities, I've been trying to reach out to people, just to see if they're available. Turns out that she was, so she came with one of her friends, and then I reached out to one of my mutuals, a husband-wife couple that based out of Denver. She's just got this, like, they have this really, like, good vibe on screen, so I wanted to see if vibe checked out, right, like, in person. So they come down to the green. First of all, here's the thing. Whenever someone's like, yeah, I'd love to come out, I'm like, okay, well, the door's open at this time. Please make sure you're there, because they will not allow you to the green room 30 minutes before the show starts.
Especially if you're like comping their
but not even
stuff,
like I'm like, that's my like freak out moment. Like that's when I like get ready, and even if like usually I'm putting makeup on then, but just get ready and like center myself and make sure that I empty my bladder 50 million times.
Coming in right then.
And so if you don't come before that, then I'm just like, like that's kind of strike one, you know? Like there's these things that I have put in place to see if you I should
seriously
continue.
meant it or not.
Yeah. Or if I should keep it like high level social media, or like, here's my phone number, because as soon as I give you my phone number, we're locked and loaded.
We're friends.
Yeah, like, because I keep that really close to my heart, you know? And so this couple, I don't want to say their name because I didn't ask them if I can, but they know about the podcast and stuff. But they were amazing. They came, the doors opened at 6:30. They were there at 6:15. Ravina was like, they were the first ones standing there. And I was like, oh my God. And here's the thing. I had a mix up. I thought they were in Salt Lake City, which was the night before my show. And they didn't come to the green room. I didn't see them in the audience. And when I texted,
you had written them off.
They didn't stay for the meet and greet pictures at the end. So I was like, okay, well, like maybe they just ghosted me. And I felt like they had ghosted me. But I was like, let me take one last step. I was like, oh my God,
Did
I
you
didn't
tell
see
them
you.
this?
Yeah, it was totally my fault. Miscommunication. I thought they were in Salt Lake City, but they're actually in Denver. Turned out and then we had dinner afterwards. They were great. I invited them to ladies' night, so you'll get to meet them.
Really? Oh, nice.
I was like, yeah, hubby can hang out in the driveway with my hubby, and whatever hubbies come, you can be in the back.
Yeah.
But like when I was observing them before the show, like when we were just in the green room talking, and then at dinner afterwards, like they had the type of relationship that 80-year-olds have. Like,
stop. So cute.
Yes, they were so like, he was so in tune to her, and like what she was saying, like every time she was talking, he was looking at her and then looking at our reactions, because he knew the story already, obviously, and just like back and forth. And whenever any of us were talking, he was very like paying attention to everybody.
You don't get to meet very many energies like that.
Yeah, and then when they were we were all five of us, we were just kind of taking turns telling stories and stuff during dinner. We went to like a hole in the wall shawarma place, which is my favorite, right?
Yeah.
They did a great job. So that was like they hit all of the things that I put in place to be like, should I vibe with them later or not?
Yeah.
Like, should they be part of my tribe?
You
or not?
invited them to your home, so
yeah,
that's huge.
And so but like when I was observing them, I was just like, you guys, and as they were talking during dinner, I was like, you guys, how long have you been together? And they're like 15 years. They're younger. No, just they're like your age and probably younger. They're like 15 years, and I was like, false. How long have you been together? Because the relationship I'm seeing right now, because whenever he would talk or she would talk, they would like just lightly caress each other, like just comfort each other, stuff. And I was just like, this is how long? And so she told us the story. Basically, they've been together since diapers. And I was like, this is, I
mean,
love that
so
for
have
them.
me and my husband, but
There
like
you go.
we're not that nice to each other.
But you're also Indian, so it's different. But I was like, it gave me hope, like because, and
The next generation is changing.
yeah.
And I say that with a lot of confidence because the couples that I have been working with recently, you should just see the way that these guys are taking, and I had a similar experience over the weekend, the way that the guy takes care of not just his future wife, he was so attentive to his future sister-in-law, his mom. He'd come into the room, hey, you ladies doing okay? You need some water, this or that. And I'm just not used to seeing that at all.
Same.
We did not grow up
We did
with
not grow
that.
up like that, no.
And I'm admiring it, honestly.
I
And
loved
I
it.
tell them, I let them know, I'm like, what you have is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I am so, so happy for you guys. And I'm so happy to see that there's a shift in how men are being raised. It might be a slow progress, but we're starting to see that. And it's so nice.
Like, I'm hoping that when my roommates get into relationships, that's what they will be like.
Yes.
Like, and right now it's like, I'm like scared that they won't be, but they're young. They have a
They're
long
not
time
going
to
to show
go.
you their cards.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's times where I look at my brother and like, my brother is not who he was at my house as he is with his wife and his daughter, and
But like
that's
these guys
good
are like that everywhere though. It does not matter who they're in front of. It does not matter if they're in front of like strangers they met for the first time and I honestly, if they watch, they'll hear this. I was like, I told Anil, Modern Desi, I was like, oh, hey, let's catch dinner because I couldn't do dinner with you last time, right? And she was like, absolutely. So I had already planned to do dinner with her and her friend. And I was like, okay, cool. And then Ravina's like, well, are you going to do dinner with this couple? I was like, I don't know. I'm going to do a vibe check in the green room. And if I get good vibes and I'll offer, like, I'll talk to Anil and see if she's okay. Because I don't have time to, like, individually go and have meals with people.
It's a lot,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm only there for one night. And so she was fine too, like, because they came first and I got to talk to them by myself with them. And immediately within the first like 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, yes, you people are worth it. Even
Like,
though
I
you're
wanna
Jesus
hang out with
people,
you.
but you're worth it.
Oh, stop.
But anyways, okay, so going back to Mother's Day. So Ravina ends up going to her friends because her friend lives in Denver.
Okay.
And so she extended her trip. So she's like, I'm going to leave straight from the venue. Are you okay with that? And I was like, absolutely, that's fine. I'm a big girl. I can handle being by myself. And so then we get done with dinner. We don't get home. Like, we don't finish dinner until probably like 12:30.
That's unheard of for you.
So we were at dinner. I was at dinner with the 5 of us were at dinner for like 2.5 hours because we just kept talking and
That's so unheard of.
it
You'd
was
be passed out.
I would be passed out.
I've never kept her attention for that long.
Shut up! Yeah, shut up. But then, so I get back to the room by myself. I'm in the room and I asked them. I was like, "Hey, can I do late checkout? Like, just to see, because my flight wasn't until 2:30 the next day. So I was like, I don't want to have to rush and leave early and then sit at the airport for 3 hours. That's uncomfortable. I might as well sit in the room, right? And they were like, oh no, it's all booked. So I was like, oh shit, okay. So I was looking up things I could do, right? And they had this botanical garden. I was like, okay, great. I'll go there for an hour, just chill, whatever. Just, read a book, whatever I want to do. And then so I'm packing, I'm doing everything I need to. High as a kite. Right, packing, but I didn't turn any music.
I didn't expect to hear that.
It's Denver, come on, man. But like, I get in the room and I just start like, I'm on autopilot, right? Because there's things we do,
Yeah.
after we get back to get ready for the next day, and no music, no TV, like pure silence.
Lucky you.
I know, pure silence.
You're glowing still thinking about it.
It was the most spectacular night. like Mother's Day Eve night in the world.
This is Saturday night.
Saturday night
Okay.
after.
Yeah.
So it's like like peace and quiet. And I'm not saying Ravena's chitty chatty, but there's like a different like
You don't get time alone.
ever.
Yeah.
And so that was that night. And then I was like, okay, well, I have to get up at 10, so let's go to sleep, right? Because I have to be out at 11. So for some reason, I ended up waking up at 8 a.m.
You're arrested.
I guess. And so I was like, oh, perfect. I'll go down and get breakfast. So I went down and get breakfast in my pajamas, didn't give a fuck. And so as I'm walking back up, I was like, let me try one more time for late checkout.
And you got
one
it.
more time. And she's like, yeah, I can give you late checkout. It's $25 an additional hour after noon. I was like, let's do this. So
That's not bad.
I didn't even use it. I only stayed until 1. But so then after, I go back to the room. I'm like sprawled out because I'm already packed, right? I thought I had to leave, so I was already packed. I took a nice hot shower. Like, was spectacular.
Lucky you. It's amazing how even if you were to have like less sleep, but because you filled your cup,
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah.
And you feel a lot more rested.
I was just like,
Lucky
this
you.
is spectacular.
And then you came home and everything was all good?
Yeah.
You still had like a nice...
Well, my flight kept getting delayed because the flight from Omaha was delayed, so I didn't get home.
So you had a good Mother's Day because you spent like over half of it alone. Yeah. Nice.
I feel bad saying that, but it is what it is at this point.
It's not a bad thing.
All right, you got a hot take, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
I thought we were doing Grind Your Gungies.
Grind your gungies, that's true. Okay, so you have a grind your gungies.
I have a Grind Your Gungies from this
What
past
is
weekend.
it?
Yo. Okay, so this one's a little work related.
Okay.
So I was brought on to work on the bride.
Yes.
Hair, makeup, the works. And they had a separate artist working on the mom and the sister. And a lot of times I am observing these other artists that I get to meet. Because if there's somebody that I vibe with,
Right.
I like their style of makeup, and if they work well with the family, like it's a vibe check, right?
Yeah.
If there's somebody that I also enjoy working next to, and if I have like a bridal party or something that I need help with, I like to collab with them.
Yeah.
And get their contact information. So I'm observing. She rolled out her like whatever 10 brushes from like this cotton wrap thing.
Wait, the main makeup artist.
I was the main one. I was working on the bride.
Okay, but then
This was the other makeup artist.
got it. Okay.
For the
Sorry.
well, she was also a makeup artist. That she called herself. I would not classify her as that, but anyway, she was hired to work with the mom and the sister. You know,
Okay.
so she unrolls a scroll of brushes. Yeah,
Okay.
they're all dirty.
Blech.
They're all
Ow.
like the same brown color, first of all, and they're all dirty. And I was like, okay, maybe she'll just clean them as she works. No, that was
No.
not the case. All the makeup was in a little pencil box. You know the Smackers pencil box
Yeah.
with the little bubbles on it?
Yeah.
She flips that open and everything's in there. And I
That's
was
so
like,
tiny. I have one of those for all my like.
again, I'm giving this person the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe she's worked with them before, so she knows their shades. She just brought what she needed.
Maybe. Okay. Accurate.
And then I happened to look over while she's working. I heard sounds. There was a little bit of stabbing going on with the eyeliner. The lash glue had gotten in their eyes, and it was like burning. Something wasn't on right. And then I look over, and I'm like, she's like poking and prodding in the eye.
No.
And then the part that set me off the most.
The poor client.
Yeah, like I couldn't watch it. I was like, why are you like aggressively in her eyeball with your brushes? You know, like it was just like, what are you doing? She then took a brush and dunked it into the foundation bottle.
No.
And that was,
I know, squirt, motherfucker.
That was it for me. I was like, oh my God.
She's cross-contaminating everything.
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 And that's just so gross. Like,
especially after COVID.
I don't even care if you keep like your actual bottles. Like you don't have to put everything in the depot it in a bottle like I did.
Onto like a pallet.
A pallet or something. Or you could use your hand. If your hand is clean, you can use your hand. That's fine. But she dunked the brush into the bottle. And I was like,
oh.
It was so hard to watch.
Even I know that's not right, and I'm not a makeup person.
It was so hard to watch, and I felt so bad for both the sister and the mom that were sitting there, because I was just like, hopefully you don't break out or anything like that, but that's just gross.
So let me ask you this then. So like when you start working with a bride, right? Initially, like they reach out from your website, whatever, and you get this email, and you learn through the course of doing dry runs and whatever. Do the brides ever say, "Hey, do you have additional makeup artists that you work with for my mom and sister?"
Yeah.
So, but she never asked you for them.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall. So
Okay.
it could be one of two things. And I can't speak directly to her because I don't remember the whole thread of emails.
Yeah.
But they'll ask me and they're like, okay, how many people can you do? Would you be able to do my mom and sister, or like my mom and bonus mom in the morning? And sometimes within time restraints, I can do like either the makeup or we'll work out a schedule. Or I'm like, if you would like for me to bring somebody on, this is the price. I can refer you to some people. You can call them up and see what their pricing is. But this is if I'm doing the work, this is my price.
Like I feel like they should ask, like okay, well you're doing the bride's makeup. Do you know anybody that can do?
They do ask, but sometimes if they don't go with me for that, it's because of the price point.
Okay.
And they don't want to spend as much. I'd say like maybe 70% of the time they do. They're like, here, like if you could bring somebody on, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then they bring them on for my price. I take care of that person under my contract and it's all good. And then sometimes they're just like, no, just refer me to a few, give me some names. And so they'll reach out and then they'll do whatever.
Yeah, because it's kind of similar to what happens with my work, right? Like I'm the headliner, but then there's openers that also do comedy. So like, kind of, you're the headliner.
Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not.
Right, and it's just like, where did you find this person? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm not even the best comedian out there, but
it was so hard to watch. Okay, and like, we're gonna go into the Gujarati a little bit.
Okay, go.
Because it's just like, they're like, well, and she's just like pushing all of her stuff on there, and I'm just like,
no,
it doesn't match her.
Yeah.
Or they're like, you have to wear your sari this way, or you have to do your hair this way because this is the style of the dress. And I'm like, just listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Listen to what they want.
Yeah, that's not good.
And there's just pins everywhere. It was really hard to watch. It was very, very hard to watch, and I was just like,
that's crazy.
Gross. The dipping of the brush just took my ass out.
Yeah.
I was done. So with this week's hot take, it kind of stems off of that. It's just, why was it so hard for me to speak up?
Oh, that's an amazing hot take.
Like, I felt like I should say something, that I owed some sort of, like I had some sort of responsibility to say, hey,
let's go into the hot take. Okay. All right, so for today's hot take.
Okay, so the hot take, I don't really know what the topic is, but for whatever reason, I internally felt this responsibility to say something. I don't know if it was towards the artist and be like, hey, you might want to consider washing your brushes, or was it more towards the client, like, yo, you need to ask her to clean her shit. But I couldn't do it, and I don't know why.
How old was this artist?
She's older. She's got kids in college, I think, so like older than me, Indian. Like she's like mid-grade auntie, know? Okay. I don't know what it was,
Do you think that's what stopped you? Like if it was, let's say I know you're friends with like one makeup artist who's Polish, I think, downtown, right?
Yeah, my Ukrainian makeup artist friend.
So like if it was her and this happened, do you feel like
she would have called her out?
Yeah, no.
she would have been, what is this dirty ass shit that
they
you're
don't
doing?
care.
She would have called him out.
But could it be because she was more of an Indian auntie versus like she gave off those vibes versus vibes that we give off, and so you didn't feel comfortable? Like for sure, I don't. I feel like the approach would have been to talk to her about it, at like from one makeup artist to another, professional to a professional, right? But then
we also just didn't have time like that alone to talk.
It's like, how would she have received that? Like that would have been my fear. I don't know,
and I would have felt so uncomfortable. I knew not to say something, I think, in front of the client. Because it's already, like, it's a wedding. It's already high stress. The bride's already got enough on her mind. Like, why would I add that to her plate? Like, oh my gosh, your other artist is just, like, putting a freaking bacteria orgy on your sister's face.
But we do that. Think about it. Think, like, forget a coworker, because at that point she's a coworker, right? You're a makeup artist, she's a makeup artist.
Yeah.
But so even outside of the workplace, we see things in our everyday life. We see things at, let's say, at party. Like I've seen.
See something, say something, but we don't actually say something.
No, we don't. We clam up, you know. And
why?
Because we don't want to offend somebody, and we don't want to make anybody mad at us, because that's how we grew up.
We don't want to start the drama.
Right. We grew up being like, okay, well, someone tells us to do something, and we don't argue. We do it, whether we want to or not. We don't fight back. We don't speak up for ourselves, because we were taught to compromise.
So even now,
Yeah.
when we know better, we're just conditioned that way to stay quiet.
And it's true, because here's the thing, like when we have parties, right? Not even parties, whatever, people come to our house, right? And one of our cousins, one of my husband's cousins, she comes with her 4 kids, okay? 4 kids. 4. It's a lot of fucking kids.
I'm like desensitized to that.
Well, yeah, once you more than 2, you're desensitized.
I know. I think
kids.
that I'm definitely not going to get invited to events down the line, because they're just going to be like, do we really want to have like all 5 of them there? You know, it's a lot.
So she's got the 4 kids, right? 3 older and 1 baby. And so baby, you have to put the baby in the infant car seat, and you have to put the harness on properly. She did not put the harness on properly. First of all, she had her 9-year-old, who was an Amazon of a woman, sitting in the front, because she was heavy enough, obviously, because she's so tall. But I was like, she's 9 years old. Like, why can't she sit in the back and help take care of her brother? Like, why do you need to sit back there? And if so, why don't you get a bigger fucking car instead of putting her in the front? And then the second thing was, she didn't put the baby's harness on the right way. And I was just like, knowing who this person is, and knowing what kind of personality she has, and knowing that she's not going to be receptive to somebody telling her what to do, because she just does whatever the fuck she wants to do, clearly, right? I was like, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my problem. And then I felt, and then I told my husband about it, and he's like, well, why didn't you say something? I was like, you know what she's like.
You just didn't want to.
Right, because if I said something to her, and then I invited her to something else next time, or my husband did, she won't come, because that's what she's like. As soon as you tell her what she should and shouldn't do, and I wouldn't tell her how to live her life. I don't fucking care if, but at that point, you're putting somebody else in danger. You're putting a child in danger by not properly putting them in the car seat the right way. So it's not like, I don't fucking care if you want to smoke weed in front of your kid. That's your prerogative, okay?
Yeah.
However, if it's going to endanger your child, I feel like I should be able to say something as a parent to a parent.
But you didn't.
I didn't, because I knew what her reaction would be.
Right.
And then I
had that incident with my brother, I think. I think I talked about it. Where like the bell was just slightly below. I'm like, can we just push it up a little bit? But I think I approached it in a not so controversial way. But we like tiptoe around the idea of overstepping.
Yeah, we do, because we don't want there to be tension.
I definitely don't want somebody to think, oh, I could share the story right now.
Sarah, let's do it.
The sister-in-law story.
Oh, we're doing it?
Yeah, I don't know. So, my husband's sister-in-law, not my brother's wife.
No.
I have to make that very clear.
Husband's sister-in-law.
My husband's sister-in-law. She picked such a nasty fight with me. She knows the story. I'm telling you guys.
I'm just here to confirm.
So, my daughter was like about 15 months old, and we were at her house, and we were supposed to be there for dinner, but we didn't have dinner prepped by any means. So my husband and his brother had stepped out to go pick up some Thai food.
Yeah.
So I'm at home. My in-laws are there. My daughter-in-law fell asleep hungry in my lap. So as a first-time mom, I'm fuming a little bit on the inside. I'm like, she didn't even eat.
Well,
she fell asleep on my lap. It was almost 7 p.m.
And was that a travel day for you guys, going from here to there?
No, we were just like visiting friends and this and that, but we were out and about.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? This is so dumb.
Right.
So anyways, we're sitting there, my kid's sleeping in my lap, and I'm trying to make conversation with her. And I knew she was interviewing nannies.
Oh, God.
And this and that. So I was just like, how did the interviews go? Blah, blah, blah. She was starting up work soon. She also had a young son. He was less than a year, I think, at the time. Anyway, so she was ramping up to go back to work. And so they were interviewing nannies. Apparently it wasn't going very well. I did not know that.
Why would you
But
do that?
I hit a trigger point.
Yeah.
By me asking. And so then I even told her, I'm like, well, maybe you could do daycare for a little while.
Wait, what did you ask, though?
I just asked, like, how's the interviews going?
Oh, which is not.
And then she said it wasn't that great or whatever, but I think it triggered something. And then I put in my 2 cents, right?
Of course.
Which I shouldn't have now knowing, but I do think about this incident a lot, that maybe I should just shut up, right? So all I said was, well, you could consider daycare. You know, like my kid goes to daycare while I work. And
Everybody's kid goes to daycare.
Right, and I was just like, and it's worked out.
We don't have nanny money.
Right, so that's all I said. I'm just like, it's not that bad. Just vet them out a little bit, and maybe it could be like a temporary solution until you find a nanny. That's all I said.
Yeah.
And she got in my face, accused me of thinking I was better than her. It was like happened.
This is why we don't say shit, because
this happened probably
like
6-7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't remember all the details, but she was in my face.
Yeah.
Like in my face. And all I knew was, you hit her, you're gonna get locked up tonight.
And you can't do it.
And then she told me, she's like, get the fuck out of my house with my kid.
With a baby.
In my laps. And I did. I'm so arrogant that I picked up my kid and I was like, fuck you. And I left the house. It was like 30-some degrees outside. I was so pissed.
Oh, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how,
I haven't talked to her since then.
But the fact that she has yet to even acknowledge her part in this.
She didn't until some things happened, and then somebody got mad at her, and then I got an apology text.
Wait.
But this was like 3 years later.
This is new information.
You didn't know this?
No. What do you mean she got a text? Like somebody ripped her a new one?
So
she tried to rip you a new one?
This happened back in 2017.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, my daughter was like about a year. So like end of 2017, November.
Okay.
And then after my son was born, my son was almost about a year old. So this was like about 2.5 years later. Mm-hmm. Right? My husband was going to go to Jersey to watch the NFC game.
Okay.
No, this was the next time the Niners were, he's a Niners fan. The next time the Niners were in the Super Bowl with Kansas City.
Oh,
the last time they played Kansas
yeah.
City. So he was going to go to Jersey, and I found out that they were all getting together at his brother's house, and I got so pissed because I was just like, how are you going to go back to that house?
Because it didn't happen to him, that's why.
He wasn't there. He didn't even see it happen.
No, that's what
But I was like, how are you going to go back to that house when she hasn't even apologized? And so I picked a fight with him. And it got to everybody that I was pissed about it. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care because I'm not wrong. I didn't do anything in that situation.
No.
And this dumb bitch kicked out a 1-year-old from her house.
Yeah.
So I'm still mad about it. And
as you should be.
I'm mad because of the way everybody else handled it.
Yes. Like your in-laws, your husband, your brother-in-law, like everybody.
Nobody had my back in that moment, and I was pissed.
See, if it was that couple I was talking about in the intro, he would have had your fucking back as a wife.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves a man like that one. Yeah. Anyway, so I was really mad. And then word got out that I was pissed.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at Neil. He's so dayo.
Oh.
Vichado Neil. So, word got out. And so somebody got involved and said something to her.
Really?
And so then I got a text back saying, can we just put this behind us? I'm sorry. But like, yo, 2 years too late. Like, I don't care now.
Did you say that? I'd be like, it's too late now.
I don't even think I responded.
You left her on red.
I honestly don't even... I don't think that I responded because it was just like, your apology isn't what I need now. Yeah. I needed it back then. Yeah. You didn't do it then. I needed people to have my back then, and I had to hold my own. Yeah. And now I'm trying to teach my husband to be better.
Yeah. Like when you tell me, you've here and there, you're like, oh yeah, I get along great with my mother-in-law. I always think about that incident. And I'm like, how?
We talked about it.
Yeah.
And I get her side of it.
That's the thing. Like, we have been brought up to be understanding too much.
We bumped heads a lot for a while, but we did talk it through, and I understand why her hands felt like they were tied in that moment. Hopefully I can break the shackles from her she speaks up about the wrong shit at the wrong time.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Like, there's been times where I'm kind of just like, Ma, you didn't need to say that, you know? And so we're getting there. We're much, much better now. And I don't hold that incident against them.
Yeah.
In the moment, I was really pissed with them.
I mean...
For months, I was really pissed with them.
Because it was unwarranted. Like, if you had said something nasty to her and she had responded that way, that's one thing, right? Like, and I know how you talk. We have been friends for a really long time. So there's no way that you approached her in a dick way. Like, you definitely probably...
I was making small talk.
Right, like, you were just, like, trying to get to know her a little bit better because, you know, you were there, you might as well.
We have such different lifestyles. Like, she was born into money. You know, like...
Yeah.
There's just, like, her hobbies, I don't even understand. We're just very, very different. But the one thing we have in common is young kids and a mother-in-law. Like...
You should be getting... Like,
we have
anything,
some common ground that I thought maybe would bond us in a way. She threw that way out the window. We're done.
Like, I would have been so ashamed
Do you
of
remember
myself.
how pissed I was showing up at work that next day? I was like...
I know. I was like, yo, how did you not kill her? You're like, because I can't go to jail.
I would have ended up in jail. I wanted to hit her.
But that's the thing. You know?
Restraint.
The restraint. Like, because in that moment, you could have, even if you didn't physically harm her, you could have ripped her a new one verbally. But I think you were just so shocked and just so angry that this bitch was doing this to you.
I couldn't have seen it coming.
Right.
And I was completely caught off guard.
Because you didn't ask for anything personal.
I threw out a few F-bombs and I left. I'm like, peace out. I don't need to be here.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
And I haven't set foot in that house since.
And she's not going to.
No.
I will make sure.
I have no desire to.
But it goes, I think wholeheartedly, I don't know what it is with other people, but at least for me, the reason why I don't say things or speak up when I should speak up is because I'm too worried about what the reaction is going to be. Especially, could it be a negative reaction knowing that person's personality? If it's a stranger, I for sure won't. Like, remember the guy at the airplane? Where I was like, I don't know if he'll shank me on this 3-hour plane ride, you know? And then I'm going to bleed to death on this Southwest flight? Like, no. So with strangers, it's because I have no idea what kind of crazy I'm dealing with. I don't know if they have a concealed weapon or something, right? And if they're mentally, whatever, not all there. Yeah. But then on the flip side, when it comes to people I do know, it's because I know what they're like. And I know what I'm like, and I'm not
That's
fluffy.
You protecting your peace then.
Me as well, yeah, because I know that I'm not going to be able to beat around the bushes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because beating around the bushes doesn't help anybody. Like, it just makes it so that they can have a cop-out. Like, oh, well, I just didn't understand what you said because you were so vague.
I hate that so
Yeah,
much.
it's like, bitch, I was trying to...
They play victim, then.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, keep you safe here, so that you're... Oh my God, I hate beating around the fucking bush, but I feel like that's really what it is.
But I do think I did the right thing, at least in the case of the makeup artist.
Yeah. It would have been really hard for you to, like, really say anything to her because, A, you don't know her, and B, you don't know what kind of relationship they have with her. It could have been a family friend for all you know. You know?
It was. It was.
See? And there you go.
So I just didn't...
Like, if you had done that, like, done the whole cross-contamination thing, I'm pretty sure the
word would have gotten out.
Word would have gotten out. They would have started, oh my God, blah, 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 bullshit. Yeah. They would have talked shit about you, and then you would have started to get less clients, right? But because it was a family friend, they're like, it's like, what's this fucking double standard? Because you know her? That doesn't mean that she's better. Really like, look at the actions. Right? Look at the actions. But we don't because really we're too terrified.
It was really nasty.
I don't know. I think we should end it here. It was a good one.
Was it?
All right. Close it out, babe.
Alrighty, well, thank you for listening or watching. Yep. Right? Is that the thing? Yeah. Or watching on YouTube. Anyway, so if we were able to spark any interest or any new ideas, feel free to comment and leave that down below. Give us a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, bye.
Bye.